For Illustrate Radio, we gonna start it off like this. Check, check. I got my host in the building. What's up, T? What's up, Lucky? Just warming up, just warming up. Check, check.
What's up? What's up? What's up, you guys? Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Illustrate Radio. It's me, you guys. It's your girl, T Gray. I got my pretty cool host with me, Miss Leslie. What's up, girl? What it do?
You doing beautiful. You glowing. I don't know. It's something different. I don't know what's going on over there, but you got a special little glow and you got your hair off the fresh doo-wop. I see you.
Girl, I had to get myself together for the people. See, I could see my parts. People couldn't see my parts no more.
Well, you look beautiful. How you doing? Happy hump day.
I'm good. You know what's funny though? My mother told me yesterday that I was glowing, but I don't know why. I don't have no glowing
See?
reason. I think it's the light. I think I got this light position just right for you. That's it.
Nah. It's something going on with the inner T. And
I
I'm talking
agree.
about the T of your
That's my
the inner
daddy.
T.
That's my daddy doing that. That's my daddy.
Yeah, that's your body right.
Yeah, that's my
And thank
daddy.
you, Stiletto. My bad. I'm over here. See, I be geeking. I be geeking over T Gray. Sometimes I gotta learn how to like not be all geeked up. I get caught up be like,
You
hey,
ain't,
what's up? What's going
you ain't doing too much. You talking about? You ain't doing too much. You got Welcome to Illustrate Radio. I know we acting like we just ain't got nothing to do. Like we
We're
don't have
having
no
a
show to put on
conversation down
anymore.
the
We more than definitely do. Um, Make sure that you don't miss us, you guys, anywhere, anytime. You're going to see us here every Wednesday, broadcasting live from the Studio 202 DC page. Make sure that you're also listening to us on iHeartRadio, checking us out on YouTube, following us on Instagram. Make sure that you're also checking us out. If you have your Roku, download that 7 on Demand app and make sure that you're seeing us every Wednesday. We're there at 8. We live here at 9. We just hitting y'all with all this beautiful caramel chocolate sensation all y'all can handle. We giving it to you. We got a fantastic guest in the building tonight, Jeff Billingsley of Cobblestone Media. We talking Black wealth, Black entrepreneurship, Black creatives putting into us, which is one of my most favorite topics. But
Yes.
another thing that I love is my just my luck. So come on, Lucky, hit me with your just my luck.
Okay, so my luck is probably going to go a little bit hand in hand of creating yourself and having habit and creating your character. I'm working on making sure that I complete things and I finish things, and I also spend at least 10 minutes a day in my expertise, whatever it is that I'm deciding that I want to do. Um, so I urge people, like, we learn things in increments. There's so much going on nowadays with social media and so many different distractions, the news, everything else going on. It's very hard to focus. And that is one of my things that I'm working on, is focusing so I can make sure that I'm completing my goals, writing things down, making them permanent. So after I write it down, I also say it out loud, and then I drink a glass of water with intention. To kind of make sure that it's real to me. And I'm so glad that everything on my list, I pretty much got completed except for, well, no, one. Maybe 2 tasks out of the 10, which is great because usually I probably wouldn't have completed one. So I urge everyone that if there is something that, you want to do, excuse me, if there's something that you want to do, take 10 minutes a day to actually learn it, research it, and gain your expertise on it. So yeah, that's my luck for the day. And that's how you actually build character and wealth for yourself in order for you to do it, abroad. I need to fix this. This shit is not cooperating. It's like hey, we gonna get it together. We gonna get it together. My wig is not
All
cooperating
right.
today, y'all. All right, there you go.
Okay. Hey. Hey. Five, it is what it is. Wig not
Yeah, it
working.
is what
Everybody needs an
it is.
adjustment. Yes, I too have adjusted on screen before. I understand. So today's love and was also stemming from, of course, what our guest is going to be bringing on and what he's going to be talking about, because it was going to be love and put up or shut up. Because I feel like when it comes to our community, we do need to put up or shut up. Either we're going to pour into each other and help each other build and help each other to grow. I feel like you either need to do that or just go sit down somewhere. It's too many Black entrepreneurs, Black business owners, um, Black creatives. Just it's too many of us who are building brands, who are building content, who are bringing things to your attention that we need as a people. We can grow as a people, or even if it's something that yes can be provided by someone else, but here's this Black person that can give it to you. Like, we're not putting into us enough. I believe that building networks and creating these partnerships is so very important. It's so very important, and it's a big lack of that. So whenever I come across somebody that's what they're doing, that they're not only have created a space for themselves in their lane, so they're not taking away from themselves, but they see what the benefit is in adding to and in building on. So one person that I did actually want to shout out is Major Hype. He is an internationally known comedian. A lot of people say that he's the Jamaican king of comedy. So if you're not familiar, just look him up. He's phenomenal as far as being a comedian. But on the business end of things, he's one of those people who tries to build, who tries to connect. So he created essentially a directory for Black owned business owners and Black creatives to network and to talk and to get it together. So if you all are on Instagram, make sure you start following at For Us 360, created by us, so that we can grow, so that we can network. And it's you know, I get what people are doing, say like in the realm of Clubhouse. I get that. I get what people are doing, and being able to have these people who maybe would never even meet or never even cross paths. Now here's this network, here's this platform that you're doing it. But it's very rare that you get a network or or space that's just for us. If I just want one of us to do X, Y, and Z, if I need producers, if I need cameramen, if I need whatever the case may be, I need a comedian, I need a host, I need whatever. Here's a network of us that are building, that started from the bottom, and we're trying to help each other get there together. It's very important in teaching our children, just about generational wealth as we build wealth on our own, how to keep that going. And it's people, our color, you guys, in finance who can help to make these things happen. Like, don't ever discredit what we can do and what we can build as a team. I think that, just put up or shut up. Either come on with this, come on with it. And it's not to negate or take anything away from any other race. But the reality of it is, Oriental Asians stick together. They build each other together. Hispanic people or Spanish people will move 10 people in a house, not just because they believe in overcrowding, but they're going to wait until one particular family can then buy another house, and then the next family can then buy another house. Then everybody has property. They're constantly building together. Jewish people keep entire communities on lock, entire neighborhoods. They only shop from each other. They only buy from each other, and they thrive. So I'm not saying that we can't. I'm saying that we can do those things, and we should be. And we should be. In 2021, we need to just put up or shut up. 2020 passed, you guys. We all could have died. So if we still living, we might as well get going. Might as well.
Facts, I'm with it. I'm with all of that. Because I was going to say that, networking, your network is really your net worth. And if you're going to be on these social media websites networking, right, why not also think about a way to invest in them? So that's another good thing. Clubhouse is major. Think about investing in it, because we're making Clubhouse CEOs all this bread, but we ain't getting none of it. Same thing. If we want to help Major Hype, that's what he's doing. It's awesome. We also should invest in it, like literally, like really put up or shut up. Not like put up to let's share the link. No, I mean like really put some skin in the game and get some things going. We can make it major. We can make it bigger than what it is. Like it's power in numbers, people.
Okay. So you guys, we have a guest in the building tonight. Okay. I'm super, super excited to have this man on because he has been doing some major things in that realm of not only building wealth and doing things for himself and building a major media conglomerate, but he's pouring back into everybody else. But before we get to that, maybe Stiletto can hit us with some make money songs. I feel like a little bit of Biggie, a little bit of Jay-Z. Everybody is in the I feel like 90s New York hip hop, get money. We need to get there. Give us a couple songs. We're going to get our guest in the building and we're going to have a good time. We're going to teach y'all some stuff tonight.
Check. Back to you, ladies. We want to introduce our special guest right now on Illustrate Radio. You know what it is. Get to the money. Hey, everybody know
Hey. She brought you in on the right music, man. In the building, you guys, tonight. We have the owner of Cobblestone Media, Jeff Billingsley. Hey, Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
Hey, ladies. How you doing? Happy 2021. I know I'm late, but I'm still, appreciating the fact that it's a new year. Thank y'all for having me.
Yes, welcome to Illustrate Radio. I am super excited to have you on. I know a little bit of your background, maybe probably more so than my co-host, but you are a dynamic guy. I knew
yes, you are.
I knew the day I met you that it was something awesome about you. I just didn't know how awesome you were. But you are a dynamic man. So I would like for you to tell everybody just a little bit about your media company and how much you are pouring into everyone else through your vision.
Well, thank you. I'm humbled by your kind words and I receive and appreciate that. My name is Jeff Billingsley. I'm the CEO of Cobblestone Multimedia. We're located in North New Jersey, but we do business worldwide. And our company is really about producing music, film, and television content. We produce music that we license for film and television. And we run a series of different programs in which we teach young people and young adults about the careers behind the scenes in the music, film, and television industry. And we look to be able to not only just teach them, but to hire them for different projects that we may be working on. And, for us, our company is really about how do we highlight and focus on storytelling and creating content that's positive and telling real stories, real life stories that people often don't hear about that could help educate and encourage others in addition to generating revenue.
Mm-hmm. So you're on the air with three women who we're all in our own right have a business or a brand that we're building. I have my shows. My homegirl, she just got her brand of her CBD products. They're being put in stores. DJ Stiletto is just a phenomenal force. Like, what is the best piece of advice that you would give somebody that's on that path, that's on that emerging Black entrepreneur goal? What's the best advice you would give?
All right, I'm gonna be as short-winded as I can. This is something that's very important to me. Entrepreneurship is a pathway to financial freedom and creating generational wealth. It's not the only way, but it's one of the main ways that we can in America. So for me, I take it a step further than just, offering advice. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and my partner, Kimberly Williams, and I started a business called the New Business Hub. And the focus started on how do we actually help creative entrepreneurs in our city come together, collaborate, procure bigger contracts together, and do things of that nature through executive level training, through a partnership we have with Rutgers University Business School, the Center for Urban Entrepreneurship and Economic Development, and Rutgers University Office of Continuing Professional Education. I say all that to say that being a lifelong learner and continuing education is a major part of, advice that I would offer in regards to, and when I say that, I mean, it could be formal, informal, utilizing the internet, utilizing your network, but learning never stops. And I would say this to all of the ladies that's on here, the hosts, you actually are in a position where you could actually teach other people what you're doing, even right now. That's a valuable asset that we all possess that, a lot of people need to know and see that people like us, look like us, are doing these dope
Doing
things and kind of
right.
be able to share and pay it forward and get paid to have that type of breadth. Continuing education and being a lifelong learner is very, very important, as well as, it's a lot of different things, but I say that to say because my business has thrived, all of my businesses, because I focus on educating other people and bringing other people along.
That's actually was going to be one of my next questions because I took the time to tune into the Rise and Grind podcast that you did.
Yes.
Yes, it's basically
Shout
how
out.
to add value, how to add value and profit and profitability and purpose on and off the clock. So because I have a problem with like focusing. So I was just telling someone that I was working on doing, 10 minutes a day of just focusing and learning something that is that's my purpose, right? However, you just making that statement of us teaching people how to do the things that we're actually working our ways through, like with T. Gray, she's getting so great at marketing all her podcasts and making sure that she's doing her photography and stuff like that, and just making sure that she's always building content. Outside of that, is there anything else that we can do kind of also off the clock as well as on the clock to kind of help us working people? Because I work during the day, and I do my podcast and my Cincy Sweet stuff on the side. So how do I manage and balance that? And how do I also add value while I'm not actively doing those things?
Yeah. I also work, I have a job. I work at Rutgers University. I'm an assistant director of communications for Rutgers North. Everything that I do is aligned to almost everything that I'm working on with my business and my 9 to 5 and everything else. One of the main things about being able to focus is figuring out and really working on what you're passionate about and what you want to do versus what you may have to do to sustain. And one of the things that I've been fortunate enough, I came up loving music. I started out, Cobblestone was an independent record company and recording studio before it was a multimedia company. And, music is something that I'm very passionate about. So, being able to do what I love to do is something that allows me to focus even more. And then, I didn't have this blueprint that I would be in a position to help other entrepreneurs and other people through different means to grow their businesses and things of that nature. But anything that you're serious about, you have to really be disciplined about. And like you said, you starting out with like just 10 minutes a day that you're going to make sure you're focused on a specific thing. Everybody learns and receives information differently. So however, you have to put something into play that gives you a designated time and schedule to allow for time just for that specific thing. That's a great place to start. And just understanding what your priorities are. As entrepreneurs, we're always on. Your brand and your representation follows you even off the clock. So you may be out at a social event and you may run into somebody that may start a conversation and they may be in an industry that may be similar to something you're doing. It's never, I mean, for me as an entrepreneur, I'm never really off. Even when I'm on vacation, I'm having a ball and doing what I'm doing, but that doesn't mean I might not have a conversation in the business. We are our own brands, like I mentioned on that other show, but we are a representation of everything that we want people to buy from us, or we want people to procure or do business with us. Just being time management is very important.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say time management. Yep. Time management and discipline from what I just got from what you said. Very important. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to get both of those together.
Yeah, you already working. You're already on that path. So I hope I answered the question.
Yeah, you did. You actually did.
Another thing that I find is very important is being able to be in charge and shape the narrative of what we put out in front of people. Because you're the boss, you have control, and you have created a way to teach other people how to think, I guess, essentially how you think, so that they are everybody's in line with what your vision is and what you want people to see. Because you are the person who's putting out this content, whether it's music, TV, whether it's with the storytelling or just any other type of content, how important is it that what you shape is positive for what we see? How important is that to put out a positive message?
I will say this. They have a saying where I'm from. They say all money is not good money. And in that, for me, it means that I'm only going to attach my brand or myself with things that I know are positive. I've done enough negative in my life as a younger person to last me a lifetime. So me at this point in life, being able to do a 360, it's almost like my penance to make sure that I'm putting that good energy out in the universe, because that comes back to you. I firmly believe in karma and things of that nature. As it pertains to what you put in the universe, you normally get back. But I don't take credit as me being the answer to how things go. I surround myself with some very talented people, and I tell people, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. You should be around younger people, people that are older that have wisdom, but just people in general that help you elevate and stay ahead of the curve, and people that challenge you to want to be better. I think that's what is pushing me and allowing me to be the best version of myself. And at this point in my life, everything that I'm doing is not even about me. It's about legacy. It's about my grandkids and all of that, my kids, and just what am I going to leave behind? What's my footprint going to be? What's going to live on post me being here and help people in the same breath? So, I think it's very important to understand the power of collaboration and working with other people. I have teams of people that I work on projects. I have a lot of very talented people that I interact with. So it's never about, and a lot of them are leaders in their own breath. We just partner with our different companies and our brands, and we get it done.
Most definitely.
That's what's up. So my next question, though, I'm sorry. Were you done, T-Craig? All right. So my next question was, I actually wanted to touch on generational wealth, because generational wealth is something that is very important to me, that I often talk about, especially when it comes to our kids and our future. Oftentimes we think generational wealth is just real estate, or it's actually, tangible items that we can hold on to. And really that's not it. Generational wealth is money that could be spent time and time again. So how would you tell someone who really is starting literally at ground zero, what would be some advice that you would give them to say how imperative it is to let them know the importance of it? And two, what step would you say that they should take to kind of get, started on that path or something similar?
That's a great question. I think, it's really important, especially for anybody, our younger generation, and it's never too late to be able to focus in on these things. But I think it's really important to always start something with the end game in mind. So always work from the back forward in regards to begin to think. I didn't give myself to live past 18. Nobody thought I would be still here. I didn't think I would be the age that I am. So, for me, it was a lot of on-the-job training, learning as I went. And it's important for us to understand what ways to create generational wealth outside of, you got insurance policies, you got real estate, you have, investing in and having equity and ownership in different businesses and things of that nature. But one of the most valuable things that you can do is create generational wealth through your network of people. Human capital and relationships are priceless to how you move forward. You may have a lot of money already, and you may have money coming in. But if you don't have the right team around you, the right people around you, you don't have the right connects for people to give you sound advice and people to help you protect your energy, all of that could be just what it was, a moment. And for me, I've learned what's important is to make sure that I'm taking care of people along my way. And taking care of people, meaning that I don't believe in burning bridges. And I do believe in being unapologetic about being a business person. Like, I'm not a volunteer. I've given time, hours, money, and a lot of different things to help, move my own business and myself forward in life. But I'm very unapologetic about, wanting to be able to be a first generation entrepreneur in my family. My mom's and my family all worked, and I worked the job that I ultimately transitioned into being an entrepreneur and still maintain ties to that job. But I wanted to be able to create something that didn't have a glass ceiling. So always keeping the end in mind. Life insurance, and when I say life insurance, I'm not talking about just enough to bury you. I'm talking about life insurance policies that will allow you to be able to bless the people that your family, or you may have a cause that you may want to contribute that to, whatever the case. Those are some ways, and just being in always in mind of what things have equity and what things appreciate over time. Invest in the proper things. All of that's important. And just having the mindset of us being Black and in America and being clear on where we are and what this country represents, and not getting caught up in the problems. We know all the problems. We've been dealing with problems for decades and centuries. Where are the opportunities and the solutions? And where are the people that are coming up with solutions in ways that are not about hurting people and are about growth and economic development? And it's a lot of research involved with, whatever it is you're doing, but I think it's more important for you to take the deeper dive into yourself and what you really may be passionate about, and how do you turn that into a profitable opportunity.
Most definitely. Look, I feel like you just preached. Like, I feel like I just want
had
the
to
church
take
to
notes.
just
I was
like, see, Gray, you just got full show. You don't have 10 by now. Boom. Seriously, you just motivated me. I swear to God. So you started, you said, with your company just being music. You've grown from music to film, television, the casting agency, your partnerships with these schools and what you're building. Have you had, or what do you think has been your biggest accomplishment thus far? Or is it something that you feel like you haven't even reached yet?
Wow, it's a couple of things that come to mind. I think one of the first things that come to mind for me is when I started my first music store, and it was called Heat Music. It was located in Union, New Jersey, in the downtown. But what the big thing was that I had stepped from my 9 to 5. This my first brick and mortar space. The biggest part of that for me was that my kids were able to work in that store. My kids were in high school, and I'm big on hip hop. I'm a part of the whole hip hop generation, as far as from the beginning to even to now. But being able to have my kids, I grew up watching other people that had family businesses and their kids working for them, and I even got jobs working with them. But for me to be able to hire my kids was huge, and to be able to show them that this is a way for you to have life outside of working a job and everything else. The other real big project that I must say that resonates with me, it's tough. It's so many. we actually produced a show. We used to manage groups and promote shows, and the biggest event that I want to say we promoted was we brought 50 Cent to Newark, New Jersey, during a time when people were afraid of 50 Cent, but he was the hottest thing in the streets, the G Unit, all mixtapes. This was right before In the Club came out, when Wankster was out. That was huge, not because of the fact we pulled it off. It was huge because of the amount of promotion and everything that went into it. People honestly gained a whole new respect for us as it pertained to the music industry and everything else. And we're still building with people in relationships that, evolved around that time period. That was 2002. And I'm going to shut up after this last one, I'm going to say, because it's a lot of different things that happened. But one of the most important productions in my life was that 2 years ago, we actually hosted the president of Cuba's wife during their first visit to the United States. And we hosted them in the form of having them come and do an arts and entrepreneurship exchange with our partnership with Rutgers University and Express North and Mad Event Management. The long of the short was the way this story happened organically, and I met some real cool people that owned the company. We were on a flight going to Cuba. That turned into them already being connected to the current president's wife, Lise. But it's a long story, but being able to host somebody from another country, and we went not only in North New Jersey, we had them in New York City, Atlantic City. They brought a huge pop band that's popular in Cuba over here. And then that turned into us going back to Cuba and being in agreement to have an educational and cultural exchange around how creative artists and entrepreneurs training and things like that. So I would say that's probably one of the biggest productions. I mean, we had everybody from Secret Service, CIA, sweeping buildings and clearing perimeters, and it was crazy. But that's one of the, for me, the exchange with the people, from me being in Cuba and Havana and just exchanging information with people and having these conversations around how people could grow and how people can use the arts and culture as a mechanism to, create economic opportunity. It was huge. It was huge. That was, like it's like we family at this point.
That sounds major. That sounds super dope. Yeah. So I actually had, I was about to say, bouncing off of her question a little bit, I'm going to go the opposite though. Because we often talk about our successes, but, sometimes it's our failures that actually shape us the most, and if there was one of the, I guess, your biggest failures or turning points that you felt as though shaped you or shaped your path in a sense that made you keep going and inspired you, what would it be?
I mean, I'm from a place where, I'm born and raised in North New Jersey. Every city has a North New Jersey, or every state has a place or places that are urban backgrounds, urban settings. And I don't even call it a failure. It was a very valuable lesson. I learned a lot of lessons. I don't even see them as failures. Just
failures, right.
The hard work. And for me, I think one of the most important lessons that I learned was that I was not going to get rich in the streets. Hustling, selling drugs, and doing things that were legal was not the answer. It was not the ticket. The police was being police decades and centuries before I showed up. So me thinking I was going to outsmart the system in that way, and living through that as an adolescent and a young adult, and even going to prison and coming home from prison and figuring out what I was going to do differently. I don't see it as a failure. I think that helped shape me to understand. I was in a situation where I traveled very young. I had, large amounts of money very young. I did a lot very young. So it taught me what was important sooner than later. So a lot of people become a little older and think that they could ride that wave, and it's like it's really hustling backwards. So I think one of the most important things was that transition and the mentorship that I received and the people I surrounded myself to help me get into school and start businesses and things of that nature, and just the positive circle of people around me really helped me value my life and people at a premium. And you know, that's one of the biggest lessons that I learned, was that there's so many ways to legally have a business, be successful. And for all the people that do know me from then, and the energy I get from them, just seeing me, you know, turn my life around and all of those things, I think that's been one of the most priceless things that I've been able to do and learn. And I still, like, the programs I run are for young people that are reentry, coming back to the community. Some of them still incarcerated, coming home on parole and probation. The entertainment industry is a pathway for you to actually be able to make money and learn while you're doing it. You may want to be a rapper, but I may have you as a PA working on a set somewhere. And you may still be able to pursue your career as a rapper, but these are things that help you get a check. I firmly believe in just being able to show people, you know, you don't have to take that route to earn a living or to generate wealth.
That's fire.
That's right.
And that's, I should have actually led with that, because I don't like failures either. I like to say lesson learned as well. But I know that those are the types, there's pivotal moments that we have in our life that do shape us and actually change our path a little bit differently. So I love your answer. That was, people treat people as at a premium. I'm about to quote that.
Yeah, I don't own the rights to that.
Okay, put it on the shirt. I can put that on the shirt. So
Yeah.
I just want to say that we never really know who we're sitting beside. You know what I mean? When we meet people, we get into situations. I met Jeff by happenstance. You know what I mean? I was in New York at the Apollo, minding my business. We went to go eat after. He's there at the table. I can't remember the other gentleman that was with us, but we were with, it was a comedy thing. So, you know, I was doing T Gray stuff and just got in a conversation. Just, you know, and I'm like, oh, he's nice. And oh, what, he said he's a producer. Okay. Had no idea who I was sitting beside, or no idea of just, I wish I had known, because I would have asked you probably 20 questions. I probably would have had my notepad out, pen and paper, and just, you know, taking it all in. But just in the process of meeting you and then kind of looking into what you do and how you do, like, I've become a fan, you know what I mean? And I know that people might not hear that because you're in media, but I'm a fan not only of how you build and what you build, but in the way that you do. We talk a lot on here about putting back into other people, and I think that that piece is so important. Just us putting back into Black business in general is sometimes, I feel like, something that us as people, us as Black people, kind of struggle with. But when you have somebody that can take their business and grow it and then teach other people and grow them and then teach other people and grow them, when you say generational wealth, sometimes, of course, the notion is always money, but knowledge is probably makes you more wealthy than anything else. And so I just want to applaud you for what you're doing and how you're doing it, and then how you're teaching other people to still keep a positive eye on people of color, you know what I mean, as we create and as we build and as we grow. So I think you're amazing.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I'm gonna blame it all. I'm sorry, I'm gonna blame it all on Bob Sumner, who I'm fortunate enough to be doing a documentary on, and he trusted me. He took a shot with me, and we're like brothers at this point. We've been, you know, working together for some years, but Bob is somebody who I value a lot and has that same mindset. The people that he's helped along the way, we're going to show the world that behind the scenes person that made all these other people, you know, gave them an opportunity of a lifetime, is a humble guy, is a community guy, and these are the people you surround yourself with. You know, anybody that's into entrepreneurship and trying to do something positive and trying to move the needle forward versus just being stuck and complaining. We have to support each other. We have to get behind each other. And like I said, it's very important to, give people their roses and flowers while they're alive, but it's also important for us to figure out how do we get to the business? How do we collaborate? How do we have a unified front with like-minded folks? And, this is an example. I didn't know what to expect. I know your other show, that focuses on the comedians and everything else. And I didn't know what to expect. But again, that exchange, that energy was right. So when you meet people along your journey, you have to be accessible. You have to be mindful that you never know what that opportunity may turn into. And now I know of a whole nother show and a whole nother group of people that are doing the work in a way that if I have opportunities that lends itself to be able to call on you or offer you opportunity, I'm calling you because you extending the olive branch to me. This is the things in life that people sometimes say, oh, those are soft skills or don't. If you're not a people person, if you're not into being connected to people that can help you, or you looking like below with people and all, like you got issues. You got some whole other type of issues that will stagnate your growth. And the fact that this is a show, all women produced and ran, and got a woman on the wheels of steel, and all of that is important. I was raised by my mother and my grandmother, and a bunch of thorough women that helped shape me to be the person that I am. But I have a respect for the work ethic of women in general, and being black in America is, it has its disadvantages and it has its advantages. And however we could share and focus on how we could be better and uplift each other to move forward, it's important. I'm not even trying to preach. That's just where my energy is, period. This shirt I have on is part of my merch company. It's called whereisthatmoney.com. And I'm saying that because it's about, helping people to see different images in different ways and different taglines and things like let's grow or let's own and all of these different things. So people get to ask you questions about, well, what's that? It's about, using entrepreneurship and that whole spirit to help get people excited about being entrepreneurial, get people excited about understanding that you have an opportunity to create something that you own. And, again, I just really appreciate the fact of, the conversation that we're having, but as well, just looking at ways to be better. And like I said, it's not even just me. I got a lot of projects that's in the pipeline and a lot of things that's going on right now, feeling real blessed to be a part of. And yeah.
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to see everything that is going to come. 2021, I feel like it's a lot of good happening. Everything that we all put into fruition that we had to put on hold in 2020, everybody's kind of hit the ground running. So I'm excited. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for my team. I just want you to make sure everybody knows where they can follow you and where they can find out about everything that you're doing with your company.
No doubt. And we're doing all of this in the middle of a pandemic.
Amen.
Be blessed.
Amen.
Yeah. So I just want to mention a couple of things that, I'm involved with. We have a documentary that we did the music for and helped compose the soundtrack for called Killing Beef, Gun Violence in the Black Community. That's going to be distributed worldwide February 16th.
I'm loving every movie. Go ahead. I'm so here for that. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
My man Samson Styles and his wife Thais, they executive produced. This is all a true story based on true events. It'll be on Apple TV, Amazon Prime, all of these different platforms. But it's a story that people can relate to and not just identify gun violence as a problem, but look at things that people are doing in certain communities as solutions. And hear a story that's phenomenal about Samson's life and how he used Killing Beef, the double entendre of actually conflict resolution in this documentary. It's won some awards, but I think it's important for people to see it. All of that will be on my social media sites. He's also a part of the current documentary that's on Netflix right now. So if you haven't seen that, I would suggest anybody, out here that doesn't know what the 80s were about or survived the 80s and the crack era and not understand fully how it was other things at play. That's important, Doc, to watch. We got my guy Bob Sumner, The Birth of Death, who was Bob Sumner's documentary in the works, and Bob has a podcast coming up. The North Business Hub itself, we are online, and we made a decision, my partner and I made a decision in October to take everything we were doing in person online so we could reach more people. And I'm proud to announce we have a partnership. You guys ever heard of Mael Organics? The hair care company, natural hair care company. Mael Organics is in partnership with us to train 60 women entrepreneurs from the U.S., Africa, and the Caribbean. And that's going to kick off in March.
Wow.
So I'm very excited about that. And we have a series of different projects that we're working on as far as film that got pushed from 2020 to 2021, working on a prequel to a film that we produced called Gimme Shelter. The prequel is called Gimme Justice. It's the story before the story. If you notice, I like to do things that are real life stories and different events. So my guy, Ron Krause, who's the writer-director of that, we look to be able to go on location and shoot that in New Jersey fully. We already in production, but to go full blast, it's a period piece, so we got to go back in time to the late 70s, early 80s. But all of this information, you can find me on social media is Jeff Billingsley, or you can find me as Cobblestone Multimedia. It's Cobblestone Multimedia on Instagram, on Facebook, or you can just follow me. Even on Twitter, it's Cobblestone MM. You can also find. I'm sorry.
I said also on LinkedIn.
Yes, I'm on LinkedIn. It's Jeff Billingsley. Yes, Jeffrey Billingsley. But yeah, I'm around.
Yeah, you cover. I just Googled you, and it was just like everything just came down. So,
that's good. That's good feedback. Sometimes I feel like they don't tell it. I got to get on my. Right now, I'm in the middle of getting ready to. I'm already started to do a lot more digital marketing, education-based things. I took those courses like 10 years ago, so I'm refreshing all of that, and we have a lot of exciting things going on. Like I said, I work in communications at Rutgers. There's a lot of good things going on with that now, and I'm just staying active and just trying to make the most of this time that I do have on this planet and have my health and everything else to do purposeful work. Like I said, it's really not about me at this point. I had all the luxury of, just being flashy and material. I did that young. So at this point in life, I'm really focused on, what is going to make sense post me being here and what's going to make sense and what's the legacy that I'm going to leave behind.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Well, thank you so much for being on Illustrate Radio. I truly, truly appreciate it. You guys, we're going to be right here again next week, 9 to 10 p.m., streaming live to our Facebook Studio 202 DC page. Make sure you listen to us on iHeartRadio. Make sure you're following us on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you're following us on Instagram at Illustrate_radio. Get your Roku. Download your 7 on demand app, you guys. We are on your TV, 8 p.m. every Wednesday. You get to see all these faces. Okay, we're gonna give y'all more than what you're bargaining for. Get all of it. Okay, make sure you follow your girl. Yeah, go ahead. What's your shot?
Can I shout out my team? I know a lot of people, but I run in a very small circle. I want to shout out my partner Black, my guys Rockin' Bones, dopest production duo coming out of Newark. I don't know anybody got as many TV placements as them, and film placements. Shout out to my guy LaRon Lee. And, just everybody that supports what we're doing. And shout out to my Neil Richardson, and Q. Just shout out everybody that's a part of my immediate circle, and I appreciate you all, and I appreciate my newfound family here at Illustrate Radio.
I'm about to say, I'll be in your inbox like, hi, how's it going?
No doubt.
I need your help.
Look, I gotta shout out Bob Sumner, because if it weren't for him, we would have never met.
That's right.
And I know you all have heard his
Shout out
name
to that
3 or 4 times. If you all don't know who that is the man that's behind Def Comedy Jam. That's the man that's behind so many mega comedians that have helped them build, helped them grow, helped them flourish. He also is in charge of the Apollo Comedy Club. It ain't too much that's happened in comedy in the past 30 years that Bob Sumner, yes, Laugh Mob, the laugh tracks, he's done phenomenal work. And I'm one of those people that everything happens for a reason. So I had to meet him to meet you. I'm a firm believer in that. So
yeah,
we're going to wrap this up now. We're going to wrap this up because what you're not going to do is come in here and shout out everybody, and I don't get mine in. Y'all make sure y'all follow me. Shout out all them New Jersey boys. But in the meantime, make sure you follow your girl, okay? At the T Gray. Make sure you hop on my website because I got new merch for y'all. www.sextalkwithtgray.com. Make sure you go to the love below. Either way, go find me. Y'all, find me.
Hey, you can Google her too, though. Yes, and make sure y'all just Google you. Just Google you. Magical AF Podcast. We lit. I'm still working on my second season, but I actually got a couple of shows under my belt already, so I'm just waiting to publish. Shout out to Cincy Sweet. And yeah, that's it for me. What you got, Stiletto? I
do the talking. We see you all next week, you guys.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Peace. This is a dope interview.